Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Mostly Low Budget Movie Reviews. I am your host, Clarence. Thank you for tuning in. In today's episode, I have a movie that I thought was coming out in October, and I kind of forgot about it. It's called The Menu, and it's listed as a horror comedy, so I wasn't quite sure if this was really dark or light or what it was going to be. It has a pretty good cast, starring Ralph Fiennes, who is an excellent actor. Now, I saw the trailers and I had a pretty good idea of what kind of movie this was. It was just a matter of how it was going to play out. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. What is this one about? A young couple named Margot and Tyler. Tyler is some sort of foodie guy, and he booked a place for them at this very expensive, very exclusive restaurant. And when I say expensive, I mean we're talking $12,500 a head, plus gratuity, which is an insane amount of money. Anyway, Margot is actually a last-minute date for Tyler and really isn't into any of this kind of stuff. So they get on this boat. They get to the restaurant that's out on this little 12-acre island. The guests consist of some heavyweights in the food business and, normal rich elite crowd that can afford this kind of thing. They show them around the island before they get seated, and dinner is served over the course of 4.5 hours, something like that. Right away, Margot stands out from the rest of, the dining crowd, and the chef notices that, spoiler free. Everything is going fine as the chef introduces each dish, but things get more and more tense as these intros get more and more disturbing. Until they get to the third course, I believe it was, Jeremy's Mess. And that's when things really go left, and that's where I'll stop. From there, they all realize this is no normal, extravagant meal, but a menu with a purpose. But what will happen when they get to the end of this meal and the meal is completed? So what did the pros think? Well, they came in at a 90% on 163 reviews, with the audience at an 86% on over 100 reviews, and so very highly rated. But what did I think? Well, first of all, let's get to the positives. Good performances, but I kind of expected that once I saw the cast, especially Fiennes, who plays a brilliant, damaged chef who is crazy, but is he really? Spoiler free. The story is where this really shines, though. As I stated, I knew kind of what it was, and what I was in for is just a matter of how it's going to play out. But I didn't know what I was in for. They could have easily went the cliche route, which is what I was expecting with the story, but they didn't do that. It plays out according to the promise that they gave you. The focus really is on the menu. I mean, they go so far as to show you the dishes being prepared. They highlight ingredients with backstory, and the dishes are beautiful. Even the very appropriate deconstructed dessert, spoiler free, won't talk about that too much. It actually felt a little like a very high stakes Hell's Kitchen almost. And the ending was unexpected and satisfying to me. I love it when a movie plays out and to its natural conclusion. We've talked about this before. There was no red herring here. They kept, you waiting for that thing to happen, or at least I did. I kept waiting for that kind of convenient plot device that was going to take it somewhere else or go a different direction. And then it ended and the credits rolled and I was like, oh, wow. And I was glad they didn't try to come up with some other type of ending for this. However, there are a few negatives. The overall message is a bit too straightforward for me. It's really on the nose. Wish they would have been blended in a little bit better and not so obvious. It was a little long at an hour 47. They could have shaved, I'm thinking right now, a little bit of time off that barrel scene. That could have got shaven down a little bit. And this isn't a negative, but just an observation. If you're looking for a bloody body count movie, you're not going to get a lot of blood here, but ultimately there is a high body count. Spoiler free. We'll talk about that. And there are some other nitpick things that I won't even mention here, because let me just bottom line it for you. Did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. I agree with the critics. I put this one right at a 90% to stay consistent on the Rotten scale. A familiar concept that was executed almost in a completely original way, where the menu isn't just the title of the movie, but almost a character in and of itself. It's a must watch if you haven't already seen Black Panther, which, I did review on this podcast. So go check out that episode if you haven't yet. And if you're just not into the superhero thing, or you don't want to watch it, or you already seen it, this movie is a definite watch. It says it's a horror comedy, but for me, it was more a drama with a horror setup and a dark comedy at the same time. So don't let the description saying horror throw you off if you're not a big horror fan. This is something that I think a lot of people can enjoy. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to close it out right here. This is the first time. Don't make it your last. This has been a Podbean production, mostly low-budget movie reviews with Clarence. I will definitely be back with at least one other movie that I saw a while back. I just forgot to do record the review. I wrote it, but I forgot to record it. But yeah, we'll see what that movie is. And there's another movie I kind of want to check out. But we'll see what, how time works out and what's going on. But yeah, thank you again for support. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.